Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Exit Music for a Film, a podcast breaking down some of Hollywood's most recent theatrical releases. I'm your host, Ken Perry. Today's episode is a very special one because, for the first time in Exit Music history, we have a special guest appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my oldest friends and fellow movie lover, Phil Bittner. Phil, what's going on?
Wow, that's a really proper introduction.
That's what I do, man.
Feels overly professional.
That's what it is. Don't be scared, dude. It's okay.
Oh, no. I just didn't expect it.
Right. Learn to expect. What's up, man? What's going on?
Not much. Just checking my fantasy scores, seeing how bad I'm beating you.
Oh, I thought we said, God damn it. Oh, I thought we decided we weren't going to do that.
I don't remember that at all.
It's okay. First loss is coming down the line Monday night. I got Aaron Rodgers Monday, so we'll see how that goes.
That's cool, because every
I'll post the
is going to be going right to Valdez-Scantling, giving me points.
Oh yeah, shit. That's right. All right, we'll put the I'll put the final score up on the Exit Music Instagram, so no one can lie. So no falsehoods are being told. So you went to see Joker this week, right?
I did.
This past week? Yeah, I saw it last Sunday, so a week ago today.
Yeah, I saw it.
Anyways, yeah, let's get in today's episode. I used to think my life was a tragedy, but now I realize it's a comedy. Today's episode, Joker. Joker's the story of Gotham City's mentally troubled comedian Arthur Fleck, embarking on a downward spiral of reallocation and crime, bringing him face-to-face with his alter ego, the Joker. Phil, what'd you think of the movie overall?
I thought it was really good. I told you, I thought Joaquin Phoenix was even better than Heath Ledger. He was my favorite live-action Joker so far.
Coming out of the gate with it hard, man. We'll definitely gonna be discussing that. Sure, I saw that on your Facebook post. I was like, oh, we have to get them on for this one. It's a hot take.
Yeah,
Anyways, yeah,
that's right.
I really enjoyed the movie too. I really enjoyed it. It's much more than I actually expected. At first, when I heard about the movie, I wasn't too psyched on it, but I thought, it was just trying to come after, like you just said, Ledger was so amazing in Dark Knight. I thought they were just trying to kind of make another one of those. But Joaquin Phoenix's performance was disturbing and fantastic at the same time, honestly. His role was just super effective, and it was due to the not only just the character being written, but those physical movements and shit, and the face work.
Yeah,
it was crazy, man.
He really did capture just how broken you have to be to become the Joker, and he did.
Right.
That's part of why I like it so much is because from point A to point B, him becoming the Joker.
Right.
By the time he becomes the Joker, that very end of the movie where he is the Joker is so good, and he got there in a convincing fashion through all the face work, all the just signs of him breaking. He did so good.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It was just the performance was just as physical as it was, emotional and whatnot. Just that the mounting loss of touch with reality and dive into just insanity was amazing. I really enjoyed the full movie. I liked that it took place in 1970s, Gotham. I mean, they should just call it New York, honestly, but anyways, Gotham. It was very dingy and dangerous, as we saw. He gets jumped by kids, in the beginning.
Yeah. They use locations that they have used in past Batman movies to kind of get that familiar
really?
feeling. Yeah.
So shit! I didn't know that.
They've kind of done that. They use Chicago a lot. Obviously, they used Pittsburgh for Dark Knight Rises, and coincidentally,
the worst one.
The worst one, yeah. Except in Batman, if no one, where Gotham is just across the river from Metropolis.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah, see, you're more of the comic book guy too. You're a big comic book fan too. It's another reason we wanted to have you on today. But yeah, it sucked. I don't know if I ever even mentioned, but this is in fact a Pittsburgh-based podcast. Me and Phil are both originally from Pittsburgh. I'm still here. Phil's coming into us from Davenport. But yeah, it really sucks that Dark Knight Rises is we get to claim the worst one of the series, I guess.
Dude, the least convincing part of that movie is the idea of Hines Ward outrunning 11 players, let alone an explosion to return the opening.
Not the explosion, just the 11 players.
Let alone the explosion.
I knew that was coming. It's a little late. I don't know. At least he kept that trademark smile going. But I liked that. I liked that we got to see a Gotham kind of before Batman too, though. If I didn't really think about it, but we never really got to see a Gotham before Batman very much.
Except for the
that was neat too.
All
right. Well, I tried to get through the first season. It was okay. Yeah. Did you watch Gotham all the way through?
I got till somewhere in the third season, and then I just kind of fell behind on Hulu, and I wasn't, like once you're 5 episodes
right,
behind, they start taking them off. And
okay,
I just never
all right.
Picked it back up. But,
yeah, I got a buddy at work that's like super into it. Yeah, I kind of liked the first season. It was fine, but it just mounting shows, and it just kind of slipped through the cracks for me.
I felt like the Joker in this movie actually kind of borrowed a little bit from that revamped Penguin character from Gotham.
Right. I like that dude that plays that character. He's really good, actually. He's been in a couple different things.
I liked the idea
of a
less disgusting Penguin, like less DeVito.
Right. Yeah, it's like you said. It's kind of the same thing. These villains just falling into just insanity and loss of touch with reality. Which brings me to I felt this is the origin story that I really didn't realize that I wanted to see. When I heard the idea of the origin story of the Joker, I thought it was kind of a money grab, but I thought we knew all we needed to know. Do you agree, as a major comic book fan, that this is more effective to never know the origin story, or did you like this? Did you like seeing this?
I liked it a lot. A lot of what they used was kind of changing around details, but a lot of it was pretty close to the Killing Joke, which at this point is pretty much kind of accepted for the Joker. So
right.
I feel like now the Joker's in the territory where it's fine to give him an origin. It's not unprecedented, just doing when Tim Burton did he was Jack Napier and killed Batman's parents. Spoiler alert for a 30-year-old movie. That was kind of out there and just random to do. But this one actually, there's some basis for it that's actually more or less accepted comic book canon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I liked everything they did with it. Like I said, just with the performance, yeah, I liked the origin and how you get to see him kind of get broken down into that character.
Right. Well, that's good. It gets the approval from a real comic book fan. I saw that they just put the Killing Joke, the animated one, on Hulu just recently. I started it yesterday, but I only got 10 minutes into it. Is that good? Should I not?
Did you
not even worry about that?
Batman and Batgirl sex scene that was put in there?
Oh, I've not.
Good reason.
Oh, hey, can you hold on while I go do something unrelated? Then I gotta check something. That's interesting. That's real? I didn't know that also Commissioner Gordon's daughter is Batgirl. No idea. Yeah. But you will be proud to know that I did actually read the Killing Joke comic book not too long ago. So and that was really good. When I saw that runtime on Hulu for that cartoon was an hour and a half, like a legit full length movie, I was kind of confused.
Yeah,
this is kind of a quick graphic novel. So there's extra shit. Okay. So should I even bother checking it out? Or should I just go to that? Should I just go to that scene? Gotcha. All right. I guess I'll check it out then for sure. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. So as I'm sure you certainly know, as everyone knows, I really rather not get into too much focus on it, but this movie obviously There's a lot of controversy and backlash accompanied it upon its release. Honestly, just to sum it up, not to fucking get into it all, and I'll let you say your piece on it, but film's gotten so much negative press and attention from groups stating that it's glorifying mental illness. I mean, we've known this character, in my opinion, we've known this character for decades, for us, for all of our lives. I mean, he's, just as much a piece of, pop culture as, like, Darth Vader or whatever. We know this dude. We knew the story. He's a deeply disturbed individual. In my opinion, focusing on something like, mental illness, focusing on something like taboo subject, it's not, that big of a deal, or mental illness or death or whatever, what have you. It's not just simply glorifying it if you're focusing on it. I mean, art of all these mediums has the right to be 100%, creative and free of expression. It's like, it's bullshit, dude. I mean, artists would be doing a disservice themselves if they did not, make this movie or made it, if they cleaned it up or whatever. It wouldn't have been the same movie. These stories are to be told, or what are we living in, honestly? I just don't see a problem with the film. I don't get it. It was a story that should have been told. Again, art should forever be 100% free of creative expression. What type of movies would we be watching without that? Yeah. That's all I'm gonna fucking get into. I don't need this. We don't need this to be a half-hour long fucking talk about this.
Oh, man,
but it's just, of course, it has all the backlash. So.
Oh man, I thought we were just gonna talk about the social issues behind it. This is disappointing.
Oh, that's the other show.
Yeah. No, yeah, I don't know. For people talking about like it glorifying it, it's, I don't know. It's pretty well established that the Joker isn't the good guy. I don't think that's
right.
Like, it's not like the Joker is suddenly a good guy.
Right.
If you were to look at him as any sort of protagonist, then the antagonizing factor is how society doesn't come through for people that need that help, and how dangerous.
Exactly, and I think that was, yeah, and that's what they were kind of trying to.
Yeah.
That's the mental illness message that I kind of got from the film. I mean, it's debatable if it stuck the landing there, but that's that's what I got from it, and that's what they're saying.
I don't know what.
And a lot of people
from it at any point was thinking, "Boy, I wish I was Arthur Fleck."
Right, exactly. A lot of people said that they felt tricked, that being tricked into sympathizing or empathizing with this character. I mean, I don't know.
People are trying to blame movies for them being tricked by a fucking movie.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. Anyways, let's not even, then again, yeah. It was a downfall from someone with a very sad life, a disturbed individual, to what he became, a downfall into insanity.
Yeah.
And again, it's a character we've known all of our lives. We don't need to focus much on it. Like I said, next will be Darth Vader. Will be coming after.
Well,
it was a good movie.
Just because it's dark doesn't mean it isn't art.
Right.
It's just not a big deal. It's a movie.
Keep it 100%. Keep art 100% creative and free. Anyways, I was very surprised that Todd Phillips made a really good, like, serious movie, which is very strange to say. Okay. It was so weird that this was Todd Phillips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he did such a good job. It felt so much like a Scorsese movie, and that was a nice. I liked how they added to that, like getting Robert De Niro to be Murray, the talk show host.
That's what I was just getting to. I was going to say I love the just obvious homages to like the Scorsese films, such as obviously Arthur Fleck was pretty much if character in Taxi Driver was just a supervillain, whatever Travis Bickle as a supervillain was basically this movie. And that's not to say it fit it. Right, and I'm going to get my, movie fan cinephile card taken away here, but I've just seen Taxi Driver for the first time in the last, year, so.
Dude,
Crazy. So it was fresh in my mind.
I had never seen the whole
really?
thing. Yeah, probably
All right.
2 months ago at work, I was folding towels at the end of the day and just watched it on my tablet.
I like that you watched the full-length movie at work. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I have a lot of time folding towels as a janitor.
Very, very cool. Yeah, and then they did like, I've never seen it, but there's obviously it's the same with like the King of Comedy. There's a lot of comparisons to that as well. Never got to see that one.
Yeah,
and then what?
Have meant to get around to that as well, especially with this coming out and all the comparisons. It's John. I haven't seen King of Comedy.
Yeah, I'll have to. It's on the short list. And then something that I thought was very, very interesting is there was a lot of talk about how Joaquin was, or how Arthur Fleck was treated on the talk show with De Niro and everything, and he was kind of making a fool of him. That was also kind of a homage to when Joaquin had that when he had those weird interviews with David Letterman where he was doing that like weird ass documentary and he was just like being weird on purpose.
Yeah.
They're saying they kind of like they cited that kind of as like they're doing like a little like a wink to that, a nod to that too.
Yeah, that
very
was one of the
very strange.
That popped in my head when I heard that he was becoming the Joker. Is that it'll be a little bit harder for him to get broken mentally like some actors have because he's done.
He's been there.
And like
yeah, man, he is absolutely one of the best modern day actors, in my opinion. I'm sure a lot of the majority of people would agree with that statement. He's just fantastic. I'll watch anything with Joaquin in it.
Yeah, he had a great Joker performance, and he didn't even have to resort to like sending dead animals in boxes to his castmates and stuff.
Right. Was that a Leto slight? Is that I don't even know. But
everyone that plays the Joker gets into some weird shit.
Some weirdo shit. Yeah.
Like,
interesting.
Jack Nicholson had warned Heath Ledger not to take the role because he got suicidal after it, and he played.
Right, I've heard that.
Like, you know, it was before animated series, but he played very similar to that Mark Hamill Joker from the animated series. And then, you know, Heath Ledger died, kind of speculated as possibly being suicide. I don't know. And then Jared Leto sounded like he would have been horrible to be working with. Like, sending dead birds in boxes and shit.
Interesting. I liked it just after the movie fucking bombed that he was just kind of said that he didn't want to be in it anyways, and he was kind of forced into it. Lovely. Yeah. If I'm remembering that correctly. Not to slight the great Jared Leto.
Yeah, I think I just heard that he's actually upset about this and like them having someone else play the Joker and feeling like he's just getting abandoned.
Sorry, dude.
Dude, you were terrible. I'm sorry.
Go back to 30 Seconds to Mars.
Well, now he's starting.
So anyway, I don't even want to get. We already focused too much. 40 seconds is too much on Jared Leto for this, anyways. So I'm going to stop that there. Anyways, I don't know how you feel. I saw this for the most part as being more of a gritty, like 70s crime drama than an actual comic book movie, for the most part, at least. I feel like this, like you said, when he totally transformed into the Joker, I feel like the last 30 minutes is when it really became a comedy movie. When you think that, like, I guess, like you would call it, like a final transformation occurred?
I think kind of when he wandered into that girl's apartment and he realized that he's just been imagining being with her.
Right.
And that he was completely alone.
Yeah, honestly, that's definitely a good spot where I realized that something was very, very wrong. For that, I said that when when his two buddies came over and he killed the dude, that was like the final, and then he puts all the makeup on, and of course he's walking down the steps to the whatever that song's called, you know.
Yeah,
which was a great sequence.
And as I was saying, that one kind of popped in as probably being a better example.
Yeah.
Because that one,
that dude,
symbolically, he put on the makeup after.
Right, and that was just an awesome scene and everything. And that dude was the killer from the original True Detective. I noticed. That dude that sold him the gun and whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't
Everything.
watched that yet. Thanks, Ken.
The original, the first one.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
No,
Wow, get on that.
I know.
Get on. Okay, get on that ASAP, and then don't worry about fuck all that.
Yeah, what you
But,
said, though, about the dark, gritty, like crime drama, I actually think that I'm glad that they saw that can work, and you can still tell these stories without it being these crazy superhero movies, because
Right. It was real. It was very, very real.
Yeah, like in
Right.
the comics, some Batman storylines could be horror movies, and I would like to see
Right.
these superhero movies kind of branch into, like, you can have a villain that is going to be more of a horror movie than an action movie. They don't all have to be these big action movies with these crazy set pieces. You can do, like, just this dirty street crime and have the heroes
Absolutely.
that way.
That's exactly why Batman's my favorite, superhero world. I guess you could say Gotham's my favorite, because it's by miles just the most authentic and in real life setting. You get the most real life characters out of it.
And then when
Definitely my favorite, just comic book world.
Yeah, and when you want something more fantastical, he has the gadgets for it, or he can team up with the
Right.
Justice League and fight more large scale stuff too.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
Oh man, I started watching that today, and then running to breakfast.
Yeah, we're
between construction
coming up.
some sort of accident. It was a mess.
Yeah, I have to revisit it. It's been a little bit. But yeah, definitely doing that soon. Anyways, I think the studio, I don't know how much this was. I guess it was semi-tactical and planned, but studio played it right by releasing this at the perfect time with, like, Marvel at a lull when they're between these phases right after Endgame and whatnot. I think that, strategically, however, on purpose or whatever, I think that really worked for them.
Yeah, I also think this is going to open the door for a lot more people to make villain origin story movies. And
yeah, I
hope that
should be interesting.
Like with superheroes, where it gets to, like, the deep cuts, like these scales.
They're going to do everyone, yeah.
Killer Croc story.
Right. Well, I happened to just watch. They did a parody on SNL last night of Oscar the Grouch in the vein of the Joker. It was pretty fucking fantastic to watch.
Weird.
But yeah, I'm sure this will result in a lot more of these type of movies, and I'm sure most of which, if not all, is going to be anywhere near as good. We shall see.
I'll root for it. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing too with it. Most superhero movies that come off well, just real quick, going back to the idea of it sympathizing
Yeah, absolutely.
with the villain, most good villains do have some sympathetic factor to them without
Right.
some sort of trauma that leads them to get to that point. That is
Yeah, totally.
terrible, and that sucks, but it doesn't mean that you justify, like, Thanos trying to destroy half the universe.
Right, exactly. He was so much more needy in the comic. It was great. He was in love with death or whatever. He's so much more of a bitch. It was great. So needy. That kind of, like, ruined it a little bit for me.
I actually haven't seen those movies yet.
Oh, really? Holy shit.
I'm so
Yeah.
behind on Marvel. They're just such
Right.
good movies.
Yeah, right. I've seen probably, I'm gonna guess around half, but Infinity War was by far my favorite of everything, and yeah. But you can't see that without Endgame and whatever. But yeah, they're fine. I mean, I try to see the big ones. I don't really care about seeing all of them, but I try to see the major ones. I did not, and that's what I mean about not worrying about the smaller ones. Yeah, I'm sure that's what I mean. I'm rarely, like, fully disappointed when I sit down to one of those movies. But getting me to sit down to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp when there's just so much more shit I'm trying to hit off the list.
Yeah,
it's rough. Yeah, right. But yeah, it's so hard to talk about this movie in particular without talking about just the characters. And is he in every single scene? I believe he is. Just to note, a note is just Arthur being so self-aware of his mental illness and health issues.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a really interesting and new take. We've never seen that before, really, to where he was just so aware, at least, of what was going on with him. It was an interesting take on the character.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Him having that card that he can hand to people was
Yeah.
a cool, depressing little touch.
Right. That was great.
This movie definitely puts you in a weird mood at the grocery store right after you see it.
Yeah, especially since dude's just laughing behind me in line. Yep.
Oh man, yeah. I
Just
used to
good.
take the bus to work, and you do see stuff, like not.
Oh, I still do.
Level.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
I guess
You see
Washington,
some shit.
I see plenty.
Yeah, I was having flashbacks of just going to work while I was sitting there. Made me dread Monday morning since we went Sunday night.
Does that lady still hang out outside of Foodland yelling obscenities at people?
I think she's gone, or I think she's been long gone, or else she would have been starring in this movie. she would have gave Joaquin a run, I think. Yeah, but it was just genuine looking to someone just simmering and going down into mental illness is fucking. It was sad, man. I'm not worried about saying it was absolutely sad.
Yeah, it was a really sad movie. It was depressing.
Yeah. But like you said, it was the message. I think you're absolutely right. It was just no one was there to help this dude when he needed it. Like even didn't his psychiatrist say like no one really gives a shit about you or her for that instance.
Yeah.
Just a broken system, and that's what I got. Like I said, I don't know if it fully landed, but that's what I got from it, and I think that that's what it was.
Yeah.
The one scene that stuck out, I want to kind of maybe talk about some scenes that really stuck out to you. That first murder scene on the subway. Whew, I liked that it was, it wasn't planned by him. It was just totally, reactionary. It was sloppy. And it was reactionary. I liked that because he wasn't planning. He wasn't fully there ready to hurt someone yet. But, as a reaction, he was, yeah.
Well, and as we know from the great Marcus Parks, a lot of Max Miller's first murder is bait. I actually liked that because it was accurate with how a lot of people that end up killing a lot of people do start out. Where the first one,
right? They just need that final push
that makes them kill someone. Yeah. And then from there, they just keep going. Except for Joker.
And then
Zero to Berserker very quickly.
Right. And in a very controversial and scary movie, I have to say that the scene that did scare me the most was not that murder scene, but just right after when he ran to that bathroom and he just started those fucking movements. He looked like a marionette puppet almost, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, what he did that throughout the movie. Do you think that was some sort of physical therapy or way he learned to deal with his fucking feelings, or just when he was feeling uncomfortable? It was so creepy, man. We said it many times already, but that this role was just as physical as it was, emotional and whatnot. So scary. He moved just there's slow movements and shit, like a distorted marionette. And he lost fucking 52 pounds for this role. Oh man,
I just think
very creepy.
Scene, throughout the movie, Arthur Fleck's happiest moments are his moments of complete delusion.
Right.
And I just kind of thought that was, figuring out that killing people sends him into his deepest state of that, because that's when he even when he's imagining being on the TV and stuff, he's not completely lost in it. And that moment when he's dancing after he killed those kids was,
it's almost pure freedom.
He is of the whole movie.
Yeah, pure freedom. You're right. Good call. Absolutely. But that scene that felt like nothing comic book related. That was absolutely pure horror. That scene. That was a pure horror movie right there. Well, and served as the scariest scene in the film, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, the imagery of it was really reminiscent of just random moments from the comics where you see the Joker just act, how he frolics around like between
Right.
variants and stuff. It had a familiarity to it for how you know
Yeah.
the character. You
I
know,
gotta learn some of those dance moves for the next night out on the town, man.
even in the '80s Batman with Jack Nicholson, they have the boombox when they go to vandalize the art museum.
Oh, one of the best scenes. We're gonna talk a lot about that in our upcoming Hall of Film review of that movie. Yeah. What did you think of the Bruce Wayne scenes, the young Bruce Wayne scenes?
I thought that part might have been a bit much.
Yeah,
Uh,
I thought so as well. But then I really did enjoy when he came that first one where he came face to face with him. I kind of did enjoy seeing that, and it did remind me of just it's like Gotham where they just kind of included everything and everyone. That first meeting was very very interesting.
yeah, what I didn't like about it is it really drove home how much older the Joker is than Batman.
Right,
And I don't think
right.
that
It seems
really matched up.
no. He was like what? He was like 30, he'd be like 30 years older than him. He'd be beating his ass this whole time. That doesn't
Yeah.
make for quite a good rivalry. I do have to say
It's
though,
like if
when
one
they
of us
first
had
were
a 10-year-old who's gonna kick our ass in like 10 years.
right. Well, that's probably going to happen now for me. So, but that aside, I liked where they finally did go with the whole Thomas Wayne being his father thing.
Yeah.
You know,
That was-
spoiler alert or whatever. I like that did come to fruition. That wasn't what we kind of settled on because that was kind of almost like, I guess, for lack of a better word, like a cop out type deal for me. I don't want them to be fucking brothers.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I kind of didn't like the liberty that they took with it.
Yeah, I kind of
It's a
shook
little
my head.
extra than necessary.
Right. Exactly. I shook my head and Sal started laughing at me actually in the theater. I was like, it's too much, man. But I liked that. I did like what they landed on when he stole his mother's file from the. Was it Arkham? I guess when he stole from the mental institution
Yeah,
and he learned that he was adopted.
Hospital, but it seemed
Right.
like that was supposed to be Arkham Asylum.
I think so too. Yeah, I was almost sure of it, but I like that what he learned that what he was, in fact adopted. I mean, it's at the same time it's adding insult to so much injury. Fuck, how much more does this dude need to? How much more does this dude need to have piled on top of him?
Yeah,
But I like that because then, yeah, right, quite a week. I like that we kind of really don't know fully in a way where he came from then,
Yeah, the way
So that was cool. I like that they played it that way.
Kind of imagined all of that and not actually been the Joker.
Right, and that's cool too because it almost is somewhat open to interpretation and all. Good stuff. I did like a lot of people didn't like the Bruce Wayne stuff. I loved seeing the first, the death of the Waynes at the end of the movie,
Yeah,
being and then them making that a reaction.
And like redundant. That was
Right, and it seemed very real. I liked that it was in reaction to, a riot as opposed to just the simple mugging. I liked it was in the midst of this riot going on, kind of celebrating the Joker as this emerging as this like leader of this movement of just agents of chaos.
Yeah,
I thought that was
the
really
moment
cool.
where I was really thinking that they were about to have the Joker kill Batman's parents.
Right, and that's not right. Right, that's not canon.
Yeah, I was really glad they didn't take it in that direction.
Yeah, it seemed very real. I really liked it because that's always been a scene in the first Batman that just all my life just fascinated me, and it was very very scary. It was very realistic in this movie. I really liked it. I think Phillips did a great job. I have to say he did a great job developing this like hostility between the classes, or I guess just the more poor or lower class, and I guess Thomas Wayne individually, just setting this like eat the rich mentality that all the criminals and lowlifes had, and all these eventual Joker disciples. That was you could feel the hostility in that whole thing. I really liked that kind of piece of the movement. Yeah, the movement was great, and it was very
With Gotham is
Yeah, it was realistic. There's so much stuff you could play with in Gotham, and it seemed very realistic, especially for the times now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was good.
I did see someone nailed down based on film posters that were in the movie. The exact year was 1981.
81. Okay, yeah, I was saying late 70s. It seemed like, and I thought that's what they had said it was.
Yeah, there was some marquee or something that based on the movies listed.
Interesting.
Out in 81.
Yeah, you said you had a couple of those, like you learned a couple like little Easter eggs or whatnot in the film too, right?
There was a few. The part where he is at the hospital with all
okay.
It's like the low, dimly lit green walls and stuff.
Yeah.
In the elevator, there's there's green scribble all over the walls, and there's a question mark there. So that was kind of
interesting.
The Riddler might be around.
Right.
A lot of stuff was just references. Him on the talk show was being on the talk show was kind of a reference to in Dark Knight Returns, only in that he ends up killing the entire audience.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, there was just a bunch of stuff that was references to other iterations of the Joker.
Okay.
Him spreading at the end when he's bleeding from the mouth and he kind of spreads the blood up. He
right.
Really close to like the same pattern as Heath Ledger had.
Wow, so serious. Gotcha.
Yeah, and there was one
that's
part
cool.
where I thought he was about
I caught that one.
A smile on that face or something, but got cut off.
Right.
Yeah.
Good thing he didn't.
Yeah. I thought that was a good little joke, though.
Yeah. Speaking of the talk show scene, man, yeah, how great was De Niro? I really enjoyed him.
Yeah.
I thought it was, honestly, I don't know what, I'm not really following closely, but that had to be his best role in recent years, right? I mean, he's been doing some sketchy shit recently. Yeah. I know we have The Irishman coming that I'm super psyched for, but this was great. He almost played he was like a voice of reason for Arthur that at that point he had no chance of being heard.
Yeah.
He was completely gone by that point, and he made the mistake of kind of dumping on him on his show.
It was like a real Waterboy Captain Insano deal.
Right.
Yeah, that dynamic was weird. Just him wanting to be a comedian and then looking so up to him.
Right.
Those scenes really. At first, I was kind of confused and not understanding what they were doing. For a minute, I thought he actually went to go see the show filmed.
Right.
The first time. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That whole dynamic was really a good thing for them to add in, for them to be able to play with. And it was cool having a way to get Robert De Niro in, because this kind of Scorsese-and feeling movie was
right. It was just
Scorsese
adjacent.
Robert De Niro have an appearance in it.
Yeah, it's almost like Scorsese kind of signing off on this movie, and in some ways, I'm sure I don't want to speak for one of the greatest directors of all time, but yeah, that was cool. It gave a feeling of legitimacy to the movie. He was just fantastic. It was awesome. And that whole, I mean, we're getting towards the end here. That talk show scene was just completely fucked, dude. Wow, the shooting. I mean, anyone that's listening, it's obviously there's spoiler alerts on this, but I mean, we're going through the movie. That shooting, that was very realistic to me. I mean, that's right up there with the scene. That's another very horrific scene in the movie. It seems very fucking real.
Yeah, it was. Once he was there, he's gonna do something, and I was just waiting for it to go off.
Yeah.
Because once it
absolutely, you knew it was coming, so that
I looked at my
the anticipation.
It was, and I was like, wow, so a bunch of stuff is gonna happen real quick at the end here.
Shit's about to pop off, right?
Yeah. It was more or less what I expected to happen, but it was just done so well. And
right.
Just immediately showing the ways that it sent through Gotham. Hold on, I gotta let my dog out of the room.
Yep.
Sorry about that. Someone got here and the dog went crazy. But yeah,
all good, man.
just the immediate after effects that you see just rippling through the city as a result of it was so good.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like the way that it established, and that, like I said, with Gotham, they've been able to do that. You know, even Dark Knight Rises was kind of the same kind of idea of the downtrodden rising up against rich people, and that's
It's a common theme across, Batman.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, as such a big, just Batman fanatic, do you think this is the most violent we've seen the Joker, like, ever?
In film, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That was kind of what I was going for. I'm sure some of those comics are pretty wild, but yeah, in film, I was wondering what your take on that.
Well, it's definitely. I mean, it was rated R. You know, The Dark Knight. He's shoving a pencil through a guy's eye and shit, and breaking a pool stick in half and telling two guys to fight.
Right.
Right. So I don't think the character was necessarily at a new level of violence, but the movie itself.
But what we actually got to see. Yeah.
There was less implied. The one part I did
right.
remember when that woman came into her apartment and found him sitting on her couch, and then it kind of cut away. I don't know if that was him realizing he was crazy and going home, or if the movie just didn't quite want to touch on like what he did to her and her kid or something.
Yeah, maybe the kid. Yeah, I kind of got like almost like a Michael Myers vibe in that scene. You know?
Yeah, when he just
scary
looks
man
at her in the hallway. I was kind of wondering.
Right. He finally looks up.
If he killed her or not.
Yeah, I think that's to be assumed. I would think.
Yeah, I think.
Was there any moment in the film
there you don't really want to touch on?
Right.
Right. What happened there?
Was there any second at all that you thought that was going to end up being Harley Quinn in some way later down the line type deal?
Not really.
Yeah. A couple people that I was with were saying that they knew from the jump that was a delusion. Like she wasn't talking much in all these scenes that he was with her, and where was her kid the whole time he was watching the kid and whatnot. But yeah, I didn't really. That didn't hit me that was going to be like a delusionary thing.
I didn't think it was a delusion so much as I thought he was going to end up acting crazy at some point and pushing her away, and that was going to be one of the final straws for him.
Right.
So I didn't know it was a delusion, but I didn't think that she was ever going to be by his side for that stuff.
Yeah, right.
Especially because of
right. And to just lighten it up for a moment, I'd be crazy, with us being such big podcast fans, I'd be crazy if I didn't mention Mark Maron's cameo in the movie.
Yeah.
Loved it. Didn't get enough time, and he even said on WTF that some of his shit got cut, but just to see him was fucking hilarious. I mean, you don't see it in this movie really, but I think he is actually like a pretty solid actor, man. But I love just seeing him, and he even posted stills of on Instagram of just him and De Niro. It's fucking so funny to see. It's so great to see. Love it.
It's funny. I don't listen to it so much anymore. This podcast, Movie Fights. It's like a point-based debate show.
Okay.
And they'll have three people. They'll give a question, and everyone has to come up with and defend their answer and tear down other people's answers. And they were saying, I think it was when this movie was first announced, like who would play the being a failed comedian becoming the Joker, and one of the people was saying that it should be Mark Maron. Because he's
that's great.
Well-known depressed comedian.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I took on. Maybe you're so interested in getting any part of this movie.
Yeah. Brian Callen had a part in it. There was a few good cameos.
Okay, I didn't realize Brian Callen was in it. I don't think I realized that. Interesting.
I can't remember exactly what he did, but
what's his name? David Tyree Henry or whatever. Brian Tyree Henry from Paperboy and whatnot. He's in everything now, but he was the one working it when he was trying to get his mom's files from Arkham Asylum. That was him. That's one I noticed, obviously. But, yeah. But, so anyways, ending up on this, one thing I wanted to note about the ending. I mean, it's not a big deal at all, but I just loved so much when they pulled him out of the car in the end, and he finally like got the strength, stood up, and kind of
that was
awesome. Symbiotically took control of this crowd, became like the revered leader of these just the agent of chaos he truly is, and the leader of these like misfits that haunt and just terrorize Gotham. I think it should have ended right there. Cut the credits. That would have been fantastic. Yeah. It's a very, very cool scene. Very cool visually. I love that so much. That was just something that stayed with me since seeing it last week. I wish the movie would have ended right there. I don't know what the ending hospital scene is going to really. I don't know if that's foreshadowing to some type of fucking sequel or whatever. I mean, this was an origin story. This should be a standalone origin story. I don't know, but I just loved that scene of him just finally gaining his strength and just standing up on that car amongst the flames and whatnot.
The part of me that thinks this movie is great, like there's a big part of me that thinks it's great and should just be left alone.
Right, that should be this is the definition of a fucking standalone movie.
But there's also a part of me that wants to see what happens next.
Right. I just don't know if I could see this dude fighting against Batman and whatnot.
And that is the issue.
Right. I don't know if he's a physical fighter. He had a problem with a couple teenagers, so I don't know.
They should wait like 20 years, and when he's old, do the Dark Knight Returns with old Batman and Joker.
Well, yeah, when he's 75 years old.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know Robert Pattinson. I know movies are coming up with like Robert Pattinson or whatever playing Batman, but
yeah, I don't think.
I guess they're not going to include him.
Yeah.
It seems like Batman, the theatrical world, Batman's kind of going off in a bunch of different directions. It's hard to kind of keep track of what's going on or whatever.
Well, I would like to do what they do. DC's animated Batman stuff is awesome. And
that's what I hear, yeah.
They just pick like a comic arch and make it into an animated movie. It's usually pretty accurate, and those are great. And X-Men kind of did that. They don't really worry too much about continuity and tying all those movies
together. That's what we should see out of these movies. Just tell a story. Tell a story that was.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be the MCU. Marvel does that well. DC clearly isn't willing to be patient enough to do it right, so they should just make good stories.
Yeah. And they got to differentiate themselves from Marvel anyway. It's just you got to find some type of strategic planning for what you want to be. Obviously, you're not going to compete, unfortunately, but yeah. They got to regroup and kind of think of what they want to. Yeah, they got to think about what they want to do strategically moving forward into the 2020s and beyond. But anyways, all in all, I really enjoyed the film. I really did, a lot more than I thought. It's one of my favorites of the year for sure. I'm saying like top 5, something like that. Maybe even better. Phoenix was unreal in all senses of the performance, physical, emotional, everything, all the face work. I can't, commend him more for his performance. Yeah. Losing all that weight. I don't know how you would even go about doing that. He looked disgusting. He looked crazy.
Who do you think looked worse, him or Christian Bale in The Machinist? I think Henry and Ben.
I've never seen The Machinist.
Last podcast, really?
No, I've never seen it actually.
It would
to see that one.
I think you could actually, in some ways, say that there's a lot of aspects of that movie that you could say Joker is kind of Taxi Driver, and besides King's a comedy, you could put some like elements of Machinist in there too.
Okay, I'll have to add Machinist to the short list of movies to get to. That's interesting. One last thing, I know you might not be fully onto this or whatever, but I kind of just wanted to go over maybe like Oscar ramifications for this film. This won the Golden Lion at Venice, at the Venice Film Festival where it premiered. Do you see this being nominated as Best Picture this year? Like as one of the nominees?
Man, I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah, it's a lot of talk. It's a very, very, very heavily debated on what this movie's going to become, February. So I see since
It has
since
recency
they
bias in its favor.
right, exactly. So that's another. That's some people really do strategically think of when to put these movies out just for that reason. And I think just since well, maybe 10 years ago, they changed it from they expanded the category from 5 to 10 movies. And all the controversy surrounding this movie, sometimes, they say there's no such thing as bad press. I see this being
I could see this
one of the
being
nominees.
Out of 10. Yeah, I kind of forgot that they
I think it'll be in the race. I don't know if it's realistic that it's going to win. I'd say no, but I think it's going to be there in February.
Yeah.
Phoenix is, yeah.
I could see him getting nominated for his performance.
That's where I was just going. He's one of the best modern day actors, as I said before. I think at this moment, and I'm not fully up on everything, but at this moment, I don't think of anyone else who could. I think he's the front runner right now for leading performance. And I know the Oscars kind of shy away from these superhero movies or whatnot, but you can't ignore this. This is something that's a little different, and he was just fantastic. So he will certainly. It'll be a fucking crime if he did not get nominated at least. But I see him as front runner right now. He's right there with Leo for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or like Adam Driver got some movie coming out, and just I don't know who else is going to be there. Christian Bale or Matt Damon for this Ford versus Ferrari, they're saying, but I think I see him as right now the front runner for this race at the moment. But a lot of things could change from now till February.
Well, and they do tend to stay away from superhero movies, but this really isn't one. And also, there is a precedent specifically for the Joker getting a look from the Academy.
Right.
So they've
I think this
had the Heath Ledger.
This movie's gonna be controversial.
Yeah.
It's gonna be controversial. Yeah, he won the posthumous award for this. Yeah, he did. He won something. But I think this is a movie that we're gonna be talking about for months to come. And I think just like The Agent of Chaos would want, this movie's gonna cause a lot of controversy going into the Oscars for this year. So this film made go ahead.
Speaking of controversy, I feel like you were implying that you disagree that he was better than Heath Ledger.
Oh, are we doing this? Yeah, I do. I do, in fact, like Heath Ledger. Ledger's performs better. But as I was thinking about this after me and you kind of talked about it a little bit, I think what goes in Heath Ledger's favor is he also, you got to think, got to play the finished product.
Yeah.
He was just I hate to keep using the same fucking phrase, but it's synonymous with the Joker. He was a pure agent of chaos. He was unreal. All he wants to do is just cause like craziness and chaos around him. I thought he was fantastic. He scared me. I just the thought, like, no one knew what the Dark Knight was going to be going into this, and he just blew me as well as everyone else away. Just those scenes, like you said, the Why So Serious scene when he pretended to play dead and they killed that mobster. Just that story of like his father,
Yeah.
My father was a drinker and a fiend, and took a kitchen knife to my mother. All that shit. He was just dark, man. The definition of dark. And when I think of like when someone mentions, okay, greatest villains in movie history, Heath Ledger's Joker's not far down that list.
Yeah.
And I can't praise Phoenix enough. And he did have to do the downfall of the insanity. If he would have done that, probably, not to talk ill of the dead, but he would have done that probably better than Heath Ledger. He is a better overall actor for sure than Heath Ledger was, R.I.P. But I liked Heath Ledger's performance better, and it does have a lot to do that he got to play the ending stages. He played the finished product of Joker.
See, nothing that you said is wrong.
Right.
Except just Heath Ledger's Joker has so much extra stuff that it doesn't really feel like the Joker. The Joker is...
Yeah, he made it his own, that's for sure.
It's very good. I agree. It's one of the best villains of all time. It's one of my favorite performances ever. But just specifically as playing the Joker, like the character, since we were kids, I just see in the end of this movie more of that character for that last like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It like he did a lot of like, overly theatrical stuff like on the animated series. And obviously he wouldn't like pull out a gun and shoot someone in the face point blank on that cartoon. But
Right.
that kind of just the theatrics of it kind of felt like the animated series, like that Mark Hamill Joker. And the Heath
Right.
Ledger one was just it. I just didn't get that same feeling. Where
Yeah, it's fair. Absolutely.
it was more of a like reinvention of the Joker than a portrayal.
Right. He definitely put his spin on it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It was a new age joke. It was no question about it. It was a new age Joker for sure.
Yeah, I think the level
Anyways,
of
hey.
is even, but I just tend
Right.
to, out of the two, gravitate towards the one that reminds me more of the character from when I was a kid.
Right, and that's absolutely fair for since you're such a comic book fanatic. That's great. And hey, we both respect very highly both of the performances, and all we could do is agree to disagree. This made $93.5 million on opening weekend. It's like an October record or whatever. I think I read. I think like I said before, a fair amount of nominations are going to come its way for when it comes to the Oscar time. And I think this is a movie we're going to be talking about for months, if not years to come.
Well, I just thought of a way we can settle this.
Let's do it.
If my fantasy team wins.
Fantasy.
then
I knew
Heath
it. I
Ledger
knew it
is
was going to be.
better. Or then,
Okay,
then
sounds good.
Joaquin
And if
Phoenix is
mine,
better. You're
I think you
actually-
mixed that up.
You've closed the gap in projections where now I'm only projected to win
Did we?
3 points. Your team, yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
Love it. Can't wait to post this final score. I love it. It sucks. We're going into Monday night, but whatever. Anyways, let's wrap this up and get into our categories real quick. So, first of all, peak performance. I mean, it's not even. Come on, no competition.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix won this movie. Let's move on.
I actually thought his brother, but okay. No.
Yeah. I was going to go with Mark Maron actually. So
Yeah.
for the dude, I can't remember his character's name, but he won. Anyways, I want to talk quickly about Film Pantheon, and this is where we just basically discuss. I know we don't have everything in front of us. Director Todd Phillips, we know him. He's done a lot of comedies in the past. Where would you say this? I mean, just knowing what you know, where does this rank for you in Todd Phillips' filmography? Do you think this is the best movie he's ever made?
I don't have his filmography in front of me. Hold on a second.
Yeah, no problem.
The
Hangover, Old School, Road Trip.
Yeah, this is better.
It's so weird. It's so different. Yeah.
Oh wait.
While you look.
Hutch.
Oh yeah, right. While you look that over, let me just say you might want to kill me, but I have to put this second behind The Hangover, which I view The Hangover as one of the 10 greatest comedies and just story ideas of all time. When I heard what that movie was going to be, I was like, that's a fucking brilliant idea. Well, still, just.
But yeah.
Oh shit! Hey. But yeah, I think I'm putting that right behind. I'm putting Joker right behind Hangover, but I have to do it. This dude specializes in these comedy movies for up till this point. So I'm putting Joker right behind Hangover at his second best movie. It's so weird. We're starting to see not to go off on a tangent, but it's so weird. We're seeing these directors take different, paths. Like Adam McKay did Vice. Who knew in The Big Short and stuff? Who knew that Anchorman had Vice in him? It's crazy. And just like this, Todd Phillips. Who would have ever thought? If you gave me 100 guesses, I would have not even come close to saying this movie was made by Todd Phillips. It's just unreal, and I like to see that. And of course, we're gonna, to mention Jordan Peele. This dude's like a seminal, generational fucking horror director. The dude from Key and Peele. It's unreal.
It's also
I just like
stuff like that coming from people under the age. I'm looking right now. He was born December 20th, 1970, so he's not quite 49 yet. And it's good to see
Who's
stuff
this?
like this.
Todd Phillips?
Yeah, and it's good to see stuff
Okay.
like this come from someone that age, because that means they still have some time in them to make some more great movies like that.
Right.
And
Yeah, he's not at the end of his rope.
also, they're younger. That means that this style can still be done right by people who weren't around in that time. It's not one of those
Absolutely.
things where style dies with its creators.
Right. Yeah. It's very just crazy. I love seeing that like people are stepping out of their comfort zones and just a lot of people are trying a lot of different things, and that's how it could be in Hollywood. I like that, people stood behind him and let him do this.
Yeah.
Because obviously he was able to do so. He was successful in doing it. He should be super proud of himself. I'm just interested to see what's next for Todd Phillips now. Should be interesting. All right, quickly we're gonna. Yeah, right. Maybe the Joker could be in it.
He's back to Dick
Yeah.
jokes.
Right. Just never do anything serious again.
That's it.
Hangover 5, 4, whatever.
You think maybe him
All right.
going from comedy to the Joker is a sign of his mental health actually decaying and him becoming the Joker?
Yeah, maybe it's a yeah.
This is a cry for
Maybe it's a
help.
cry for help. This whole thing's a cry for help, I think. All right, it's time for our IMDb film fact, not sponsored by IMDb yet. The filmmaker cites Alan Moore's Killing Joke, which is Joker's origin story in Descent into Insanity, and as well as Martin Scorsese's films Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and King of Comedy as the major influences on this film. So we obviously went over that a lot, but I just thought that was interesting fact to cite. And then I'm going to throw a bonus one in here, and you mentioned it earlier. This is, in fact, the first rated R Batman-related film. Yeah, crazy. It's been too long. They should be rated R. The Gotham's gritty and nasty in these movies. I'm not looking for put them to push the envelope just to be edgy, but if you were to give me a guess, I would think Tim Burton's Batman would have been rated R, just the look and grittiness of it. But yeah, this is surprisingly the first rated R Batman film. All right, it's time for.
Quote from Joaquin Phoenix about losing 52 pounds.
Yeah, go for it, please.
Once you reach the target weight, everything changes. Like, so much of what's difficult is waking up every day and being obsessed over 0.3 pounds, right? And you really develop a disorder. I mean, it's wild. But I think the interesting thing for me is what I had expected and anticipated with the weight loss was these feelings of dissatisfaction, hunger, a certain kind of vulnerability, and a weakness. What I didn't anticipate was this feeling of kind of fluidity that I felt physically. I felt like I could move my body in ways that I hadn't been able to before. And I think that really lent itself to some of the physical movement that started to emerge as an important part of the character. So that really kind of explains a lot of what you noted so much about that dancing in the bathroom scene.
Yeah,
So,
it's amazing. The
apparently that was
dude's amazing.
Joaquin Phoenix just feeling it when he lost all that weight.
Right, and I would just like to note that's how I feel after I don't eat fried food for 2 days. So I feel the pain. Yeah, he's unreal, man. He's the dedication and just he's fucking one of the all-time greats. There's no other way of saying it. It's absolutely true. All right, time for see, stream, or skip. Very simple. Phil, if you were to recommend this movie, would you recommend someone to go see this in the movie theaters, pay the money, wait till it comes on one of the streaming services, or skip it entirely?
It's definitely worth it. What's wrong with you? You can't wake up at 10 in the morning on a day off and go see it when it's 6:50. Get your fucking shit together and go see this movie, or go on a Tuesday. Get your shit together and see this movie.
That's right. I loved it. I absolutely agree. I say definitely go see this movie. I think I have this rated right now as my second favorite movie of the year behind Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And finally, I kind of don't like doing this, but 1 through 10 rating, what would you, if you were forced to do it, what would you give it?
Alright, so on the scale of comic book adjacent stuff, probably a 9.
Yeah? Wow, nice.
For movies, kind of a 10, just because I can't really
Wow.
think of a comic book movie necessarily better.
Yeah. Holy
It's
shit.
kind of not a
High
comic
praise
book
from
movie.
Phil.
As an actual
Yeah.
film, probably more like 7 range. Like
Right. That's what I gave it.
if I'm looking at it
Yep.
outside of my interests and looking at it like just as another cinematic release, then it's like 7 range. But for
Right.
superhero movies, doing something new, keeping a trueness to the character while putting their own things on it, just being different. The only things that I would say are better than it is when you give something like a full series. But like just one,
Right.
if it stays as just one standalone movie, I'd say it could be 10. If it becomes
Wow.
one of like a trilogy that ends up not being good at the end, that knocks it down quite a bit.
No, you think that in turn knocks down this movie if there's shitty sequels to follow?
I mean, this movie will still be great, but just the way it's
Yeah.
viewed will be that it's the beginning of a shitty
Cheap.
series.
Cheapens the name, right? Yeah. I gotcha.
But I mean,
Well,
I'd still
and I
enjoy
just
the movie just as much. But
absolutely. Well, you thought about this a lot more than I did in that 0 seconds of warning I gave you. But I just strictly, my feeling was just 7. So
yeah,
7, and
it's really good.
that's all I got to say about that. 7.
Well,
Oh,
the thing
man.
is, with it being a 7 is it's just that there's movies on levels that are better than it. It's
Yeah,
not like
totally.
There's things that I look at it and I knock points off for. It's more like just
Right.
that I know that there's movies that are better.
Totally. Yep. Well, Phil, you have anything else to say about this Joker at this time? Any closing statements? Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job at covering everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, just let the record know that you will go down in history as the first ever guest on Exit Music for a Film. That was the experience. Harmless, put it on there, top, above your name. Man, I can't thank you enough for coming on and doing this. I knew you were the absolute right person for this movie. And I guess we'll announce it now. The plan is to do one old movie a year, even though this is a first impression podcast of new theatrical releases. We're going to do on the show once a year. We're going to highlight a film that's celebrating a significant anniversary. And Phil's going to come back on this year for, we're going to do 1989's Batman, actually, that just like me is turning 30 this year. It's released in 1989. So we're going to get around to that very soon because I feel like we got some juice from this one.
Yeah, and I was born 5 days after 1989.
Oh, yeah, you're both January. You're like 2 weeks before me. It's crazy. Yeah. January birthdays. All right, man. Yeah, again, thanks. Thanks for coming on. Hey, guys, remember, keep going to the movies.